Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. There was a Star Citizen questions and answer session from the PC Gamer Weekender event that some of the devs were asked Star Citizen and Squadron 42 based questions. This video is an overview and roundup of those questions. The cargo system. They've tried to identify what's fun about shipping and cargo. Some of the dangerous routes in the verse will be a lot more profitable, but there is risk and reward to balance. Just having cargo leads to many roles and jobs that should be coming in 3.0. You can hire someone to protect you. That could be escorts, that can be crew. Pirates will come after your cargo. Bounty hunters will go after pirates. Escorts and cargo haulers will try and protect and make money by protecting their cargo. Time for travelling is important too. Although they want to balance it not being boring, there is no time dilation or time skips for Star Citizen's travel. Obviously, you have the ability to quantum drive and jump drive with certain ships. That's just a faster mode of travel rather than any form of time skip. The journey to where you are going is part of your story. There could be a war in a sector. There could be pirates pulling you out of warp. There could be distress signals or points of interest that you discover just by travelling. If you are a crewman, stations, guns, repair, rerouting systems, boarding, defending, operating various consoles are all part of the gameplay and experience for a multi-crew ship. There will be other stuff to do as well. There could be mini games and play chess or something as well. And obviously they're trying to integrate Spectrum into the game as well at some point, which will give you some added being able to chat on forums and that sort of stuff in the game as well. The radar system. Single player, Star Marine, Arena Commander, and the Persistent Universe all have very different needs for radars and scanner. For dogfighting radars, you want contacts up immediately, especially if you're in Arena Commander or whatever. It's much more arcadey game mode. On foot, you'll have radar and scanners that are detailed more for the first-person shooter and ground items. They're going to have in-depth scanning mechanics as well as radar systems. We're going to have to wait and see exactly what they bring to the table with them, though. Feedback. They love hearing feedback. They want to get involved with the community as much as possible. Feedback is incredibly important to Star Citizen, whether it's part of the issue council, feedback on the flight model, or suggestions for improvements. They have the ability to get a patch out every day for internal testing, and I suppose in the future they could get patches out every day once the Delta patcher is there. Star Marine level design. Starting out with smaller levels and areas, they tested engagement ranges and interior and exterior spaces. So they worked out, is a sniper rifle overpowered in this area, or and then moved stuff around and put cover in certain bits. They are balancing, and they want to get like weapons and the levels to all flow together. It's quite hard to do though. We don't have a lot of cover yet is a quote that they used there, and it was very much suggestive that they are going to start being lots more cover in. We've got that cover system that we don't really use as players much yet, and I think that they do want to start focusing on that. How will Star Citizen differ from other space sims? The tone of Star Citizen is different from others. They are, however, influenced by games like No Man's Sky, Elite Dangerous, and other games that have similar mechanics. Those research and development techniques and stuff that those games have already brought to the table, they at the very least listen to and use mechanics, and they use research and development and ideas where appropriate. Even failures can be used as a way of not doing something like that. So they do look at those other games, they do listen, and they do use what's appropriate there. Satterball. It's not happening anytime soon. Satterball is the zero-G football game where you've got to do it Ender's Game style, throw a ball into the other person's goal or go through into their goal yourself. But CIG now have their own first-person shooter team. Ilphonic made the original Satterball like kind of demo. In the future we will have Satterball, but it's not a priority at the moment. It could be a while, I think. Planetary tech. So there's no limitations on what exactly they can use their planetary tech for in regards to other things. No limitations there. So they could turn a planet into its own enclosed first-person shooter level if they wanted to. They do want to eventually include modding tools in the future, but that is a little while off yet. With the accessibility of the Lumberyard engine though, it should allow modders to get a feel for tools and power that they have at their disposal even before a more in-depth release of some form of modding tools. They are also hoping to allow for APIs to be used in the future too, for people to make lots of other like maps and programs like that will hook into the game. Working as a global studio. They use Skype all the time. They literally can be working up to an hour before a deadline or whatever. There is an organic nature of having 24-hour coverage with all their studios, and work constantly being done is very productive. They can finish a day thinking, right, I've done a lot of work on this, sign it off to another studio, come back and it's been completed, or they've hit a roadblock that then they can take over it from, and they can complete it themselves or whatever, and they can keep on doing that. So it keeps the ideas very fresh and moving. Squadron 42 missions. They are trying to be as informed and apply much as possible from the persistent universe to Squadron 42 and vice versa. If it exists in the persistent universe, they can leverage it in different ways. They want to leave it up to the player on how to approach some things with missions. They're going to give players a set of tools and they choose how to complete a mission with them. They will obviously be able to have a much more scripted and focused approach at times. They're there to tell a story with Squadron 42 and can choke point the player into something more cinematic. You can be interacting with Mark Hamill and then back to a more open world, and they can push and pull you into these different scenarios and things much more easily with the Squadron 42 mission, where they are very much in control of telling their story. And it could be that someplace out in the PU that they add context to later, or that sort of thing. There might be bits of story that appear in the persistent universe that are linked to Squadron 42 and that sort of jazz. How will the game allow people to have unique experiences in the verse? You're going to be able to build reps that give you exclusive routes. So you have reputation with certain factions in the game, and everyone's going to have different standings with those factions based on how they act, what missions they do, how they respond to people, and that will in turn give people different access to different missions. I even believe that different ships will give you different access to different missions, and that sort of stuff will allow you to at least complete them in different ways. And again, you're going to be able to choose different ways of completing missions. Missions are going to be slightly modular and a bit different every time you play them. Even if you play a very similar mission, it's unlikely to be identical. How has the tech been developed and evolved the game as it's been developed? So they might build part of the game and then something cool comes out tech-wise. They have some cool gravity tech that they haven't been able to use yet, or they haven't shown us yet, because the race isn't in the game properly yet for them to show off that tech. Now, I think they're probably talking about the Vandal there, because the Vandal live in low gravity, and I think, like on the Kingship, for example, the Vandal jump around in low gravity. And I think that's going to be part of the gameplay for, like, Episode 2 of Squadron 42. They are looking forward to creating gravity-based puzzles. Even the planetary tech and demos that they've shown, the stuff that they have in their hands now that they're working with is much more pretty than that. It's my understanding, though, that rather than rewriting tech over and over again, that additions to technology are either bolted on or kind of polished and integrated into their current engine rather than entirely rewriting anything. Lumberyard is extremely modular and robust. Progress this year. So they're working hard on Squadron 42 and Star Citizen. They plan to get 2 to 3 major updates with locations, ship, jobs and careers in 2017, but no confirmed dates when it will be released. I do have my own version of a schedule report that I write up with guesstimate dates and all the different ships that need to be released and all the different game mechanics and stuff, which I will link in the description below, along with lots of other links and signposting as well for people that want to know more about what's going on with Star Citizen and all that sort of jazz. How will they handle lifetime insurance for updated ships? So this is specifically for ships that will be updated or get newer models as the game goes on. So newer models of ships will be coming out in the game. You're going to see multiple models of the Hornet, or the Super Hornet, for example. You might have the 2947 version, but in 3 years, for example, there might be the 2950 version. And these aren't replacements for the original models. They're not like a visual update like we've just had with the Super Hornet. They're like a new version, like it's a new car model. So they both will exist in the verse, the older version and the newer version. and they don't know in the long-term economy how lifetime insurance will be exactly handled for lifetime insurance ships, but they think that you might be able to upgrade your 2947 Super Hornet to the new 2950 Hornet and keep your lifetime insurance, but they didn't 100% confirm anything there. And that was kind of it for the Q&A section from the PC Gamer weekend. I hope you liked it. I mean, some of it was quite simplistic. I thought people might want to hear an overview of that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help me. Commenting on any of my Star Citizen videos during a given month gives you a chance to win a ship for the month of February. That is an Avenger Titan. So please comment, tell me. Obviously, everyone's waiting for Squadron 42 and 3.0 and all that sort of jazz. Do you think lifetime insurance is important? Don't you give a damn? Do you think lifetime insurance should be available to everyone? Do you like the new flight model? Do you hate it? Are you waiting for 3.0 and that's the main thing that you want? Or is it just Squadron 42 that you care about? Do you think 2 to 3 major updates a year would be fine? Or do you think that that's not enough? Tell me what you think in the comments below, because it gives you a chance to win that ship. Thanks very much, guys, and I will see you in the verse.